We'd now like to welcome Newcastle County Executive Matthew Meyer on stage. Prior to becoming county executive, Mr. Meyer worked as a math teacher, a diplomat in Iraq, an economic advisor to Delaware Governor Jack Markle, and started 2 successful businesses. Under Meyer's leadership, Newcastle County is reducing its carbon footprint, preserving more open space, turning vacant spaces into livable places, addressing environmental injustices, and has responded aggressively to COVID-19 and opportunities to build back better from the pandemic. A graduate of Brown University and University of Michigan Law School, Meyer is fluent in Swahili and has studied Spanish, French, and Hebrew. We'd like to have our county executive receive his plaque and talk about how volunteering matters.
You may have to repeat that.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening and back. Good. It's good to see everyone. It's great to be here with the Lieutenant Governor, so many representatives from the state, Senator, State Representative, and of course our great County Councilman, Dave Tackett. It's an honor to be here at Charity Crossings event. This is huge, Jay. This is huge, Vinny. I was a public school teacher in 2016, 6 years ago, when I decided to run for public office. I had never run for public office before. And I grew up here, spent a year in Iraq as a diplomat, as was mentioned, came home and just had this vision that we could change the world. And like Vinny and Jay, believed it could start right here at home, right here in Newcastle County, where I grew up. I very quickly learned as county executive in 2017 that there are 2 big problems. The first problem is that when I turned on the TV following the 2016 election, for those that remember it, we were living in a country, in a state, in a county, in a community that was deeply divided. Divided too often by gender, by race, by class. And I felt, as county executive, I often didn't have enough power. I did not have enough voice to bridge that gap alone, to bridge those divisions alone and create a more united community. I also had a second problem. And that is, as county executive, I really wanted to serve everyone across our community. One thing I'm in charge of is our great county police force. Major Treadwell is here with us today. Thank you for being here, sir. And even with our police, paramedics, libraries, parks, all across our county, there were individuals and families who were so hard to reach, who were in vulnerable places, who needed the assistance. We had the resources to assist, but did not have a way, and still do not have a way, to reach every single one of those individuals, every single one of those families in need. About the same time, 2015, 2016, this man up here on stage, Jay, had an idea. He had a vision that one day we'd be sitting in a room like this, with adults, with families, but also with so many children, so many youth, who would all, every single one of you, be giving to the community in one way, shape, or form, would be acting to unite our community, to unite our county, to unite our state, to bring us together in some ways that is not happening across our country. He also had this vision that all of you would be out there finding the most vulnerable, inviting you in, making sure those that needed blood, those that needed platelets would have it because you would give. Those that were hungry would have it because you would stand up and give. And so that brings us here to tonight through a horrendous pandemic, which made all these problems even worse. and cause Jay and Vinny and so many of you to stand up even more and do even more, at times at risk to your own health, the health of your own family, of your own community. So I'm humbled to be up here with Councilman Tack, and let me tell you, there's no greater I know there are a lot of people up here who are tremendous advocates for Charity Crossing, none more than Councilman Tackett. When he calls, I can't say every time, but about 80% of the time, it's Charity Crossing needs help, and we need to collaborate to help all of you to reach those hard to reach individuals and families, and to unite our community. So on behalf of the 570,000 plus people of this county, I cannot thank you enough, not just for the things you're doing that we see, but for the things you're doing that we do not see. Because it makes all the difference in the world, in a crazy planet right now, where countries are literally prancing into another country and killing people. In a place where so many people, even though we don't see it, so many people are struggling to make ends meet in this post-COVID world. I cannot say thank you enough to each and every one of you, and especially to Jay and Vinny for leading us through this challenging time. Thank you very much.